Welcome to paradise.
Yeah, Lucky got this bill good. My little cat, she's just feeling a little guilty right now. You can see her over here. Hi, Lucky. It's okay. I still love you. It's only 10,000 real. This is $2.50, right? But the issue is, if you try to put it together like a little easy jigsaw puzzle, it's moving on me here, there's a piece missing right here. And I threw it away because I didn't think I need it. But I can't even get $1 for this equivalent of $2.50 US note. Well, 10,000 Khmer real once again. But I have this little piece of my tooth. You probably noticed in my videos as of late.
Arg, matey! Scallywagger! Walk the plank!
I'm missing a little bit of my tooth. The closest one to the left of my front tooth. My left front tooth. All I have for Christmas is my two front teeth. Well, I still got my two front teeth, so that's good. But anyhow, like, what do you think here? What do you think? I'm just going to unwrap this. It's a little difficult. I don't want to lose this. I'm keeping it for the dentist. They might find it to be useful. Here it is. I wonder if there's somehow I can use this to fill in the gap. Like, I know it doesn't really match, but maybe they'll feel bad for me if I go back to wing. You know, even ABA. I'll probably have better luck at ABA.
Oh yeah, ABACAADD. I don't have an attention deficit disorder. Yeah!
And, you know, maybe I'll just put some tape, you know, at this little gap and just put that little fragment of my tooth like that. And they'll just feel bad for me, you know. And I'll say, well, hey, you know, I didn't even have the tooth fairy come and give me any money for half the tooth. You know, the least you could do is give me $1. So I got some money from the imaginary tooth fairy that never comes around for me anymore. What do you think? Do you think I should do it? Maybe a piece of, like, tape that I, you know, that I make green with a little marker, something like that. Let me know what you think in a comment below.
Thank you, ABA! All right. Oh, baby, baby. Hi. Well, I'm wearing my green Nike Dry Fit t-shirt for a good reason here. Green. We're talking about money today. And I've been asked this question a lot. It's popular. How picky are people in Cambodia about US notes? All right, because in Cambodia they use US notes as well as riel. So, you all know what this is. A $10 note from the good old US of A. Let me open my Canadian wallet. A little used now, which I guess is a good thing. If you don't use it, you lose it. And here's a 1,000 real note. And I got this from my change today after I bought an appetizing breakfast. After ABA took my torn 10,000 real note, which is about $2.50 US at this time. Even though they had to tape it together and there was a little bit of a nick left out. I didn't have the piece because, well, my cat Lucky ate it. Either that or I threw it away. I can't quite remember. Either or. Regardless, they didn't have it, so they couldn't put the entire puzzle together. And that's why these little money changing places like Wayne and True Money weren't able to accept the note and take a fee from there, giving me, say, $1.50 back for the $2.50 equivalent. ABA gave me another 10,000 notes, so there was no fee. What they had to do is they had to tape it together because they ran half of it through the money changer. I don't think it worked the first time. They taped it, ran it through again. It registered as a 10,000 real note. Then, as you can see in the picture, that's also within this post. Yeah, basically I got a new note and they took the other one, and I guess they have like a bin of all these torn and damaged notes, and it doesn't make a difference to them because they don't lose any money somehow. Okay, but they're quite forgiving when it comes to real Cambodian money. Yet USA money is a different story. Like if you have a ripped in half $100 bill, $1 bill, I don't think it really makes a difference. I doubt they will give you, a replacement bill, one that doesn't have any issues with it. They treat US currency over here really like collector's items. And it's very strange, but they started it and they continue on with it. So nobody wants to be caught with a bad bill. For instance, once I was going into 7-Eleven. I had a $50 American note and he didn't take it. Imagine this is $50. I don't have one on me right now. It's been a hard month. Anyway, I'm just... But there's a little blue mark, tiny, minuscule blue mark. You need to have a magnifying glass in order to see it. And I was like, what? The thing is, you need to understand when you're over here, the cashier is somewhat responsible for all the notes that come in. And they would have to take that note along with any others, and they don't want to bother doing so. That employee is going to get blamed, maybe even fired, who knows. I don't know how it works when it comes to that. But they would have to go to a wing, and they would probably have to pay a small fee, and they would lose the bill and get a better one in better condition in exchange. Remember, we're talking about US notes here. So I was like, oh, whatever, right? He wouldn't take another bill of mine. It was just ridiculous. There was just like a little... not even a millimeter tear in it, and he's, no, sorry, sir, we can't do it. This happens to everybody over here. It's so uber strange. So I went to the wing up the road. I took my time, energy, came back because she gave me, right, the riel, right, the equivalent in Cambodian riel. And she didn't even question. She didn't take a fee, nothing. And then I came back in, hey, I got my riel. Wasn't charged a fee. They had a little English behind the till, and lo and behold, I got my goods. So, also, if you're coming over to Cambodia and you're bringing $100 bills, make sure they're newer bills. Don't come with, ultra old $100 bills, because that's another issue that people have had. They come with a lot of hundreds, but they're a little too old and they don't accept them. Maybe not even at a bank like ABA or Canada or Asalida. So yeah, when you accept notes in Cambodia, just like they do, check it over. Make sure it's real. Make sure you don't see, copy here on the bottom of the 100, say. And they sell fakes all over the place, these little stands on the road. So in a way, they're kind of asking for it. And, but yeah, like they don't mind giving away the bad notes. Maybe they're not fake, but they have little issues with them that any Khmer will say, hey, I can't accept this. But they want to give them away if they have them. It's just the way it works over here. But of course, if you want to give them one that has a tiny little blemish on it, they don't want to take it. They don't want the issue. It's kind of the way it works over here, okay? I really didn't think they would accept my Khmer note, my 10,000 real note today at ABA, but they did. Awesome job, guys. Again, you had to tape it. They're not as picky about real. There is a part missing, right? My cat may have ate it. Maybe I threw it away. Can't quite remember once again. But I mentioned he had a little English serial number, right? The serial number wasn't broken. Even if it was, they tape it together. They could tell it's the same note. But that's the most important thing, the serial number. And ABA took it, so yeah. But I'm really not sure about the US money. If it's torn in half, I think you're out of luck. But maybe I'm wrong. So once again, I hope that answers your question about how picky they are about U.S. money. Maybe, to them, originally, they're like collector's items. I really don't know. Um, Really, I like to withdraw real now. That way, there's no problems. Like, once I wanted to pay my rent at this place, and she had a problem with two of the $100 bills. She said there's a little problem with the little, those little shiny stickers that go down here, vertical. Anyways, she said there was like a little bit, but I went on Google after just to make sure on images, and I typed in $100 note, and it looked exactly the same as mine. There's nothing wrong with it. She's just a little green to U.S. currency. And of course, I, took the picture for my landlord, and she, of course, accepted them, said, if there's a problem, we'll get back to you. I'm like, well, I got them from the bank machine over there. I'm sure there's not a problem. Bank machines over here generally are all good. Honestly, like if anybody says they have a fake note from a machine, it probably wasn't the machine, but it's somewhere they went after. Okay, and I also want to talk about this in this video, and that is scammers. We're going to get into that more in future videos. But for instance, once I went into a massage shop and I had my shorts, and as a Canadian, I'm uber polite normally, and I don't want people to think that I don't trust them. So she was like, oh, I can take your shorts. And I said, no, I'll just roll them up. My wallet was inside. I had about $160. And I just tucked them, onto a little ledge, right? A little cupboard, one of those straw cupboards. I laid down, I did my massage, and I remember there was a point where I heard a boom, boom, like she went when she was giving me a massage, which was the trigger for the other girl to come into the room. She obviously had some fake 100s, 50s, 20s, 10s. She went into my wallet quick and switched a real 150 of mine with a fake 150. Paid the $5 for the massage, went home, kind of had a weird feeling, put the money on the bed. Lo and behold, the 100 had copy on it, the 50 was tie-dyed in the back. So I was out the money. And it's one of those things, it's like, should I go to the police, do a report? Well, that'll cost money, I think, over here. And the odds that the police will actually help you and go to the place and they'll admit to it are kind of remote. Plus, who knows, maybe the news team from CEO.com, Cambodia Expats Online, will be around. Or maybe even worse, the Khmer News, you'll be on TV, about it. Sometimes you just have to kiss it goodbye, and it's like tax money. You know what I mean? Because we get a good deal living here in general. But there's one instance, I just didn't feel like going back and making a big deal about it. It's $150. Could have been worse, right? Once I went to a restaurant, I was on a date, and I pulled out 100 to pay the bill. My mistake, I didn't read like the last 2 or 3 digits of the serial number of the 100. She comes back, I don't know how much it was, maybe $40. It's a KTV, karaoke. Love money, not fake bills. Some good steak we had, I believe, that night. A little salad, French fries. Sorry, sir, it's a fake 100. She switched. Had to have. Wasn't a bank machine, right? I went to the bank before that. Definitely wasn't the machine. It was her. What can you do? I didn't take a picture of it when I handed it to her. I didn't have her repeat the last 2 digits at least. So I was out that 100, and I had to bring out 40. I didn't leave a tip, and tipping's not really big over here anyway, but I usually always do, but not that time. So there you go. I didn't get $60 change from my 100. That 100's gone, and another 40. Right? So how much did I lose? Well, I was never good at math. I'm a coach, an English teacher here sometimes, off and on. But yeah, so I'm out 60, I'm out 40, I'm out like $100. So that's awful. These things happen, and I've heard worse cases where, normally always Chinese, they have their little man purse for like 10,000, 20,000, and somehow or another they get the whole bloody purse. So I'll get into scams more in videos to come. Very entertaining videos coming up. But yeah, that's about it in a nutshell about money. I was amazed that they actually gave me a new 10,000 real note. And I know it's not much. It won't buy me a new Porsche, that's for sure. However, it's good to know that ABA were cool with me. And even though there's a little piece missing, They just taped it together. They could tell both parts belonged to the same note. They had the serial number. They worked their magic. They didn't make a big deal about it. They gave me a new note. Not brand new, but nobody will have an issue with the note. And normally with riel, even if there's like a mark on it or it's just a little bit torn, such as what can happen to a US note, they take them. They're just not picky with them compared to US notes. But I always kind of have a blend of US and Khmer notes. And most people now, I believe, just do ABA. They just do online banking, just like in other countries like Japan and especially China with Weixin, WeChat Pay. And then, no problems can happen unless you don't have data and they have no Wi-Fi. You have no way of doing the transaction. I think it's good to always carry a little cash with you too. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful. If I can think of anything else that I should have said in the video, then I will mention that within a comment or comments below. All right, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, just give it one thumbs up. That's all that's necessary. So subscribe once again. I had a great time being in front of you again. And I will see you soon for the next video. All right, ta-ta, see you later. And what do we say in Khmer for goodbye? Oh, I forgot. But I know hello. Sustai, saksabai. In Chinese, zaijian panyo. Bye-bye, everybody.